Oh, welcome everyone on our weekly, I can say weekly, but we skipped last week, community meeting. Today is 6th of February. I'm going to share you new features of Cozystack, but first let me repeat that we have Telegram group where you can join and ask your questions. Also have Slack channel and official Kubernetes Slack. Please put your names here. I will put, where am I? I will put link to this Google Sheet into the chat. So we had no new releases since the last time, but we are about to prepare a new one. The new one will bring new killer feature. It will allow you to attach public IPs to the virtual machines. We decided to go strictly with Kubernetes approach with separation of pod networking and services networking. So currently it will work as usual services. The only difference that we implemented controller which takes all the services with such annotation and will enable the pass through for these services directly to the pod. And I'm going to demonstrate how exactly it works. Actually, we have this daemon deployed. I have example deployment here. I have a pod with Nginx, and I have a service with some random port, which is not 80, with this annotation. So for now, we can see that this pod get deployed. We have service. No, it is wrong pods. It's deployed. So we have this pod Nginx. Oh, come on. When you have live demos, everything go wrong every time. All right, we limit it from Docker. Does anybody knows Nginx from other source? Let's try to find it.
It should work. What's wrong with it?
I just get that rate limiting. Now there is something wrong.
It's the rate limit. That's what it says.
One
right
moment. I need just like 5 minutes to pull it into proper place. 1 moment, please. Oh my God.
I already found some image, so I will just put it here.
I hope it would work.
You can use mirror.gcr.io for that kind of stuff.
All right, totally forgot about this service. Okay, let's try it as is. Game's pulling now. All right, we have running container. We have created service for it with public IP. First difference that this public IP should be pingable, but it is not. All right, the feature is too early to demonstrate. Okay, let's try to curl it. It is not working. Well, failed demo. Sorry for that. Actually, what you want to see here that this service will be available. So we could ping the pod directly. It will get SMP packages, and also it will redirect all the ports, TCP and UDP, directly to this pod. I was wondering why it's not working. Just try to restart those pods. All right, now it is working. So I think we will fix it before the release, but finally we can get into the container as well. We can check IP address. Inside the pod, it will use the same pod networking, but if you do external checking, we will see that it is using the same IP address like service have. This is done using NF tables. So for now, we're just adding additional table for NF tables, and it will enable masquerade. Not masquerade, it will enable one-to-one NAT. So it will directly map this IP address with this one, and vice versa. This way, it will be possible to attach external IPs for the virtual machines, and they should persist even if virtual machine is migrated. That's it. We also have few more changes. Currently, we are working on adding new dashboards and new metrics. So we just added a dashboard for monitoring etcd. Previously, it wasn't working. It is possible to see management etcd cluster as well, tenant etcd clusters, and also alerts were added. And also, we are working for adding lint store dashboard. The current one looks like this. It's not ready yet, but we are working on this. So those changes you can expect on the next Cozystack version. That's it. And now we have few questions in OpenFloor. First, if the state of RAM support for Cozystack. Let's check a link. Yeah, Nikita, do you want to repeat the question?
Well, I think it is disconnected in the question. So what is the state of ARM support? Is anything working if I launch Cozystack on ARM instance?
Got your question. So currently from our side, we are not working on this. We have few community members who were interested for adding RAM support for Cozystack. The existing state of RAM support is allowing you to bootstrap Cozystack main container, but it is not working with the rest Cozystack entities. I think also Cozy API also should be working. So in fact, it is very basic support for RAM. It actually allows you to only deploy Cozystack with bundle, Distra hosted bundle, or PaaS hosted, I think also will not be working. So in case if you're interested in adding RAM support, it would be sufficient just to go all the images we built here and add additional annotation, actually option, which is existing in our installer image. So we have makefile, And here it is. So we just need to add those options to the REST images building. And we need to check if this is really working. Right now, we have no any RM servers, so we can't perform this check. If you're interested in that, you can also provide RM servers to our community. So they might be interested for implementing this RM support. That's it.
Okay, cool. I got it. One more question from my side. Would it be sufficient to just rebuild images?
I think in most cases, yes, but sometimes it might be required to add additional options. For example, I think we can take a look on dashboard. Images, Docker file. So sometimes it requires you to add additional arguments for building exact images for this platform.
To the build process, actually, right?
Yeah, sometimes you can get commands, for example, for downloading some binaries. Yeah, here it is, target arch. So target arch should be specified with the correct architecture.
Okay, got it.
But I think in most cases, like 80% of images should be built as is with no troubles. Because if you're building Go, it usually automatically detects what architecture do you have and compile the binaries exactly for this target architecture. It usually means if you're downloading some external binaries, you should be aware to not download wrong binary. The rest, I think, should be working out of the box. That's
okay,
it.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you too. We also wanted to discuss Gateway API implementation, but probably Kirill didn't came on this meeting, so we can skip it. One more thing that I just found that Cilium provides its own Envoy gateway, and if I understand it correctly, this also provides gateway API opportunity using pure Cilium. And we have income about GitHub issues review. We discussed this internally that we need to take more attention on community pull requests and community issues. So for now, if we have no other questions, we can switch to bug scrub. Do we have any other questions? Then let's check pull requests. There are pull requests just from our teams. By the way, there were interesting question. How should we name the option for virtual machine? And which options it should have to enable whole IP nothing. So for now, we decided to use ports and whole IP, but probably we can change it to something else. If you have other options, please share. This is how it will look like on the values file when you're deploying virtual machine. So external true false to enable external IP service for the virtual machine. And external method by default, we will set whole IP, which will map it directly. We will also considering to name ports or port lists, which means that only those ports will be redirected.
So is there a precedence order if I specify external ports and whole IP?
I think this option allows you to specify just the single option, just single value. It should be whole IP or ports. But I think we will rename it to ports list or something like that to be more detailed. Okay, then bug scrap. Let's check our issues. We have disconnected message on dashboard. All right, we have some issues with dashboard when kick log session is over. I was pretty sure that kube or bug proxy should renew the token. Maybe I'm wrong on this. Of course, I will not check it right now. Okay, I think we have to take a look on this more closer. We have feature requests for enabling automatic OEDC integration for created Kubernetes clusters. When users create Kubernetes cluster, they often want to get seamless single sign-on SSO with using same OEDC provider used by platform itself. Something like done in hyperscalers. Currently, Kubernetes clusters require additional configuration to use platform keycloak or other OEDP. Proposed solution to add in parameter kind Kubernetes spec to allow users to specify authentication configuration in Kubernetes cluster going to be great. I think this is a good idea, but I was also thinking if we can use some proxies like teleport to enable seamless access for every service is created. Does anybody have experience with that? Because I think there might be trouble when we create cluster. Users still have to update their configuration file to specify correct URLs to new tenant cluster. It would be nice if we would have some binary which would update kubeconfig file for all the clusters where users have access. I think it can be even shell script.
I'm looking forward to this feature. I would definitely use it.
How it looks like? Switcher?
No, to this feature, I'm looking forward. That's what I
All
said.
right, got it.
There's kubeOIDC proxy that used to be a standalone project. Now it's under the Tremolo Open Unison umbrella, but I think it can still be used as a standalone tool. Not sure if that's comparable to what Teleport can do.
I think kube proxy allows you just to specify to run additional proxy, which will proxify all the connections to the
Yeah.
existing API server.
Yeah, this is kubeOIDC proxy here. I'll put it in the chat.
Thank you. I'm just thinking that it will not solve the original issue of accessing API because we actually can configure our tenant APIs. It would be nice to have some option or to use this option by default. But there are actually two problems. The first problem is how to access created cluster and how to update your kubeconfig file. The second is how to authenticate. So I think authentication can be done just by configuring the existing API server to authenticate through our keycloak, and it should be working just out of the box. And we need some method for simply updating configuration file with all the tenant Kubernetes clusters created. I
So
think
those changes would have to go upstream, right, in the KubeVirt CAPI provider?
I think it should be done just by not KubeVirt, Kamaji control plane provider. So it can be done by specifying those flags in Magic control plane resource.
Extra args or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for
And
the
we need
point.
to specify it right in the issue.
Yeah, I looked through the docs for anything about supporting that, but I didn't consider that extra args is pretty open-ended. I'm sure there's extra arg support already.
We have no extra args for API server, which allow to change by user. But I think we need to update Kubernetes application for enabling this feature and automatically configure it. Actually, we already have keycloak operator, which allows you to create new clients. Not sure if we need to create additional client for every new cluster or even per tenant. But
Ideally, you would have it set up so you can just get one token that
yeah.
you use from cluster to cluster.
There were also an idea to change the flow of authentication to device flow, if I understand this correctly. This would allow you to not even specify token in kubeconfig file. Download OEDC enabled kubeconfig via dashboard. Yeah, this is totally makes sense. I saw this request from one of our clients. They also want to get this opportunity. So they want to log into dashboard, click some button, and get kubeconfig for the management Kubernetes cluster. We were thinking to adding additional application which will not be visible on catalog, the same like bootbox, but it will actually allow you to download correct files.
I think you've demoed before. The tenant does give you, at some point, kubeconfig download that has OIDC enabled in it. And I was able to make that work once, but it seemed inconsistent for me. I'm not sure if it needs to be recycled after OIDC is enabled or...
Yeah, there were some issues with that. And there is other problem that tenants get deployed in upper tenant level. So if you create new tenant, for example, kvaps, I will get access to my namespace, but I will not see this tenant application. So I can't download this kubeconfig file. It should be some separated application which is deployed exactly in the same namespace.
That makes sense.
Galera cluster for MariaDB. Yeah, already answered for that. There were requests for enabling Galera option for MariaDB and enable failover with max scale. Unfortunately, we currently can't use max scale as is because it has not non-free license. Does anybody know any other solution which could ensure load balancing for MariaDB and MySQL clusters? I guess some kind of proxy can work. Actually, I have no experience with that yet.
I'm not sure why Percona is not working for MySQL.
Percona is working. There were also requests for automatic failover using max scale.
Yes, but I don't understand why we need to stick to a particular technology like max scale. So what's the business value of it? So either we could, I don't know, have something in place or in another operator by max scale. So what we are going to achieve with it?
I think it is because it is already implemented in MariaDB operator, but I think it should be working even without max scale. Actually, a Galera cluster allows you to access any replica. They're working in multi-master mode, and I don't see an issue why do we need to have max scale for this.
Yes, it's what I'm asking about. So very strange.
And still, this is a good question. Can we provide such functionality because we use open source operator, which is licensed under Apache, but it deploys proprietary service. Can we enable this option to our users?
No,
There are more.
I think that we should. So we need to clearly understand what is consequences of using components like max scale if they are not open source. So it could ruin everything.
Yeah, definitely we should not depend on them. But I just talking about if we can provide such option to our customers, to our users. So they will be able to enable max scale, but they also should be responsible for using this or not using this in production, in their production needs.
No idea. Without thoroughly checking of license of max scale, we can't tell anything for sure. So it could be like license, I don't know, like one cluster and the user will try to use it like 100 clusters, the same cluster. And you won't give any like configuration options for the exception of license. So it would not work.
We were thinking about providing enterprise versions of software using Cozystack the same way Flux CD was changed. Now it is allowing you to specify the values to use enterprise images. But in this case, it is different. So max scale could be enabled by any user, not only administrator. And in this way, I think we should consider talk with MariaDB. They want to provide us.
Yeah,
such
but on the
functionality.
other hand, any user can let's say, if we would have a MariaDB enterprise built with an enterprise images, who can stop a user from using an enterprise images, just changing it inside of a platform itself? Nobody.
Yeah, but the question here is more wide because max scale is licensed under BSL. That means that open source, the source code is available. The images also, I guess, available, but you can't use it for enterprise needs. And we can't actually check it and we can't provide such functionality to the users without asking them for specifying some license key, which I think can even not be existing. So I'm not sure. We need to talk with MariaDB or with some lawyers because actually this is more than
why
just...
any cloud provider is developing its own solution for every kind of service it provides.
Yeah, but it would be nice to provide such functionality. I think it is nice when vendors can actually sell their software. Maybe we can consider extending our catalog with paid applications the same way like
Amazon does marketplace, yeah.
yeah, but I was thinking more about how's it called? Operator Hub on Red Hat.
Excuse me, MariaDB as a replication. You can use MariaDB.
Yeah.
Not about Maria, but it's about one component, max scale.
Yeah, but this doesn't seem that it is required. So we can enable Galera, but not enable max scale functionality. I'm just thinking that this is a weird situation because operator allows you to deploy both, but they're not checking license. So if you don't know that max scale is not open source, not free component, actually, you can't use it. But you can just be not aware of this. All right.
I think about that Max Patrol thing that maybe in Cozystack license there should be some options. Like if you use Max Patrol, consider their license, and other components are open source and you're free to use them. Something like that.
That's a good idea.
You are talking about GeoIP database, right? Or what?
No, I just thinking of Cozystack license or something. So it has license actually, right? So it could be written down that if you use, for example, Max Patrol, consider their license. And if you use some commercial stuff, consider their license if you can use it. And the Cozystack acts just like Docker Hub or something, just providing stuff to you.
Yeah, just thinking that we can add the additional option to Cozystack config map that, yes, I have paid, I bought license for max scale and for the REST components, which are distributed such way. That's an interesting issue. I think we can think about that. We have no new issues. The rest ones, I think we will go over all over them and we'll solve them internally first. And probably that's it. Any other questions? In this way, thank you for attending. See you. Yeah, wait. We are shifting our next meeting to 27th of February. So that will be in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks. I'm finally go to the vacation. Thank you everyone for attending our meeting and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a nice evening, guys.
Have a nice day.
Bye-bye. Have a nice vacation, Andrei.
Thank you.